What's up everyone? Today we're answering all of your top questions about New World MMO by Amazon Games. Today I'll be utilizing a website called Answer the Public. It basically scrapes Google and comes up with all your favorite search terms for any particular thing you type in. Today I typed in New World and these are the results. Now, I'm gonna give you a little secret. People on the YouTube verse, they use this website to come up with 100 different video ideas about one topic so that way, they can get views and stuff. I'm a dad, I ain't got time for all that, so we're just gonna shove it all into this video. Sound good? Great. So when you see these images come up right here, this is all from the United States search results, and hopefully they represent some questions you may have about New World. If not, I've got plenty of other videos on my channel, plenty more to come. Please like, subscribe, do the things, so that way this video can reach others who may have questions about the MMO. As we all know, MMOs live and die by their community, so if you would like more people to be a part of this community, sharing videos like this one to people who are unsure or unknown to the game really helps out. So Answer the Public appends in words like what, which, why, and how, and puts in your search term to see what you get. Let's check out the top questions. Which New World faction? Well, let's go Purple Crew, Purple Crew. No, but for real, there are 3 factions inside New World right now: Syndicate, Covenant, and Marauders. The Covenant represents the Church and the Holy Warriors. The Marauders represent more of like a military type force. And the Syndicate, well, they're the seedy underbelly. Really, any of the factions do basically the same thing, but if you want to join a free company, you have to join that company inside of a specific faction. We're still waiting to see what Amazon's plans are for making sure that underrepresented factions have a chance to succeed in the world, but that is on the priority list. It's coming. Right now, if you are part of a faction and you're inside a city your faction owns, you help contribute to the development of that city, you help run the city, that kind of thing. But you also get free resources just for being part of their faction. You also can instantly transport any of your storage from any other city your faction owns. You can go straight to your bag or straight into that city's storage. That means it's lightning fast to move resources all around the world if your faction's in control. If you're not in control, well, you're huffing it, or just fast travel. It's not as bad as Black Desert, guys. It's not as bad as Black Desert. So really, choose whatever faction looks best. You get cosmetic items for being a part of that faction. You can only change once every 90 or 120 days, so your choice matters depending on your favorite color. Which New World server? Well, there's going to be tons of servers available at launch, and more will be added in. In fact, in this most recent closed beta, they just started adding servers as they need more people. As we all know, Amazon is one of the largest web hosters in the world, so they can fire up servers very, very fast to accommodate everyone's needs. However, I would highly encourage you to take part in this next upcoming open beta, because that will help Amazon to refine what kinds of servers they need out there and help understand their audience. Now, I would choose your server primarily based on ping. We all know that a bad ping can hurt a gameplay experience, but in MMOs that is especially true. And in MMOs where you can dodge and block, you really need to be aware of what your enemy's doing and what your response is going to be. So choose ping or choose where your company is going to go. Other than that, doesn't matter. They're all the same. There's no PvP only or RP servers. Those will develop over time, I'm sure. Just like anyone who plays Final Fantasy XIV, the fairy server is sort of RP friendly. That'll develop over time, but nothing official from Amazon's side. What New World server is Tim the Tatman, Asmongold, Shroud, Josh OG on? I don't know. Go to their Twitter, find out. I can't help you. What New World server are streamers on? All of them. I don't know if you guys saw how many streamers were live on YouTube and Twitch at the last New World closed beta event, but just loads. Now, I will tell you that the servers where the factions were fighting for control as part of the War for Aeternum, those servers had hours-long queues. Now they did fire up additional capacity for the servers as time went on, but initially, upon launch, you were waiting 2 hours to get into the popular servers. So consider that in your server. Will New World have a subscription? No. This is a buy to play MMO. You pay for the package, and then there's microtransactions within the game in order to get you to buy some cosmetic items. Now, they are cosmetic only, other than things which I guess you could consider non-cosmetic, but really don't matter, like dyes or icons for your company's flags. I mean, they're visuals. They make things look different, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So no, at this time, no subscription. Will New World be on console? Now, I can't imagine they would leave the console market out forever. The console market represents like, a quarter of all gaming. I don't see why they would leave it out, but at this time, there's no plan for console. And I will tell you right now, the way the game is built does make it a little difficult to play on console. There's just a lot of intricacy. You have to stay live on the servers, as we know with any MMO. That's why a lot of MMOs don't do well on consoles or don't spend the time. Final Fantasy is a big exception to that. But other than that, you don't see a lot of MMOs on consoles just because the format doesn't work well there. Will New World be free? Free-ish, right? Buy to play. You pay a small amount and you can play for as long as you want. With hundreds and hundreds of hours of wood chopping and iron mining ahead of you, eventually that gets down to like a couple pennies an hour and no one's gonna care. How New World beta? The next beta that's coming up on September 8th is an open beta. So all you need to do is go onto Steam, go onto the New World page, and then sign up for the beta there. They will let you in, they'll give you the download, do all the things. It's all through Steam, so check it out. How New World PvP work? This is where the factions come into play for New World. Each of the factions compete against each other to control a tournament. You will have faction leaders, which will give you PvE quests and PvP quests, 3 of each. Now, once you complete your PvE quests, you have half of your rewards, if not more, remaining on the PvP side. So they are encouraging open world PvP. In order to flag for PvP, you need to be inside a major city and turn on PvP. If you turn it off, your PvP missions will automatically fail. You have to keep PvP on in order to do and return the PvP missions. If you die during the PvP missions, though, they will also auto fail. So PvP is a challenge, but you can completely opt out. If you never turn on PvP, you do not have to deal with it at all. The only thing it's going to keep you out of is the PvP missions and grouping up with PvP flagged people. That's it. Go to the city, turn it on, go kill people. Have fun. Whole New World lyrics. I can show you the world shining. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Can New World be played with a controller? At this time, as of August 5th, there are no plans for full controller support. None. That thing sitting over there is going to be a brick. However, you can map keys to a controller. So if you use third-party software that will allow you to, put the buttons on the controller, it'll work. And in fact, New World, you only have 3 abilities at once per weapon, plus a left click and a right click. So 5 buttons is perfect for the controller environment. You have even more than that. You really only need a couple other buttons to access major things like inventory or talking to people. So really, you're kind of good to go. It all fits on a controller. They just don't currently have plans for the full controller support. Can New World be played solo? Mostly. There is group content, and if you've played MMOs before, you'll know that at some point in that solo content, you move into the group content. There's at some point, and in New World, it's the first dungeon, that group play is sort of required. Now, you can kind of go around that and do other quests. There's plenty of other things to do in New World, but the dungeons are a group experience, and they're old school group experience. You walk to the dungeon with the key you crafted, get your group together, and walk in the door. Now, you can get a group together, then someone walks in the door who has the key, and everybody else teleports to the dungeon. That's fine. but you do not have a looking for group system right now. You do not have, you know, things to teleport to directly in front of the actual instance itself. Someone has to walk their butt to the dungeon with the key and open it for everyone else to arrive. Other than that, New World can generally be played solo. There are a lot of challenges to it, and of course the end game is going to rely on a lot of these dungeons and stuff. So if you try and play 100% solo, it's not gonna be all that fun. But a lot of the game built around crafting, built around exploration, built around kind of following this storyline of your hero. Yeah, all that's solo. So have fun. When New World release? New World has a release date of September 28th. Now, anyone who has played a recent game knows sometimes launch days are issues. If you've played recent MMOs, you'll know launch days are basically toxic. However, you can possibly get into the game September 28th. When New World Beta end? New World has had several phases of open and closed beta, preview events, alpha. New World's done a lot of testing, more than I've seen from a lot of MMOs. However, the final beta will be launching September 9th at 7 a.m. Pacific time. You'll be able to play until September 12th at midnight. So midnight at the end of September 12th, not beginning of September 12th. So you functionally have, what, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, almost 4 days, to play the game, get your experience in, and see how it goes. Now, I will note that this beta is going to have a wipe function to it, meaning you don't get to carry forward progress. Are New World servers up? So if you're asking this before September 9th at 7 a.m. Pacific time, no. If you're asking this September 13th Pacific time or later before September 28th, no. If you're watching this between September 9th at 7 a.m. and September 12th at 11:59 p.m. midnight, maybe the servers might be up, possibly. Are New World cookers any good? You know, people who do cooking. Don't worry about the grammar, guys. It's Google. Yes, cooking is actually a fantastic skill. It is difficult. You need ingredients that are extremely rare. I cannot tell you how frustrating it was to get up to level 24 and still not to be able to craft the level 10 pasta because I couldn't find any wheat. I couldn't find it. If you're going to specialize in cooking, you're gonna wanna gather everything. If you see purple flowers in the world, those are herbs. You need to pick them up because there's a chance that each pickup will have a couple of cooking ingredients. Yeah, it's a very difficult thing. You need to kill turkeys with the hope that they drop eggs. Or you can find farms and pray that someone else hasn't already picked up the carrots and the potatoes and the cabbage and the broccoli. Farms are your friend if you're a cook. Now, why would you go through all this effort to cook? Well, cooking gives you healing over time, mana recovery over time, stamina recovery over time, which are all great, but it also gives you attribute bonuses. At a low level, you can add like 1,000 luck to your mining. As you start to get more and more recipes, you can start to get things that add strength and dexterity and intelligence and focus and constitution. Things that add multiple of those, things that'll add it for greater lengths of time. Most food in New World has an instant heal factor to it and then something else that lasts a specific duration. Food is pretty powerful. You know, when you say you're adding 20 strength, in some games that's a lot, in some games that's a little. In New World, that's quite a bit. When you say you're adding 1,000 luck, holy why New World will fail, why New World is bad. Listen, any MMO can fail. If it doesn't get enough community, and if it doesn't get enough revenue to maintain the servers and continue development, any live service game fails. Amazon recently failed. They launched Crucible into a beta, moved it to an alpha, and then closed it entirely. So Amazon's not on a good track record here. However, New World is an incredibly fun and incredibly satisfying game to play. I've been playing it for the better part of a year now, and I will tell you, shush phone, and I will tell you that I have had fun all the way throughout. If New World fails, it'll be because of lack of marketing, it'll be because lack of hype, it'll be because someone decides that they don't really find all that much enjoyment from a streaming side. Streamers have a big effect on games nowadays. Things like Among Us and things like Splitgate can come out of nowhere because streamers find it fun, their community finds it entertaining, and it goes a long way. Chopping trees and mining ore can only be so fun. However, there are slow games like Final Fantasy XIV that are very popular on Twitch and YouTube gaming. So the question is not if New World will fail, it'll be if New World can gather a community to help it succeed. Why New World delayed? This is why I don't think New World will fail. New World has been delayed many times. Now, part of that is due to, this big global panini. However, New World has listened to their community time and time again. Currently, you can wield two weapons. You used to have 3. 2 felt better, so they went with 2. Skill slots used to have their own cooldowns instead of the skills. The slot that you place skills into had cooldowns, so if you switched weapons, that new skill was still on cooldown. That went away. People hated it. There was a big stagger mechanic. It was a big thing for New World. Some people still love that. Most people hated it, so they removed it. They've delayed the game time and time again to make sure that the community that's playing the game enjoys the game. And that's why I think New World will succeed. Why New World hype? Our 2 most popular MMOs on the market right now are more than 10 years old. World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV. Now, we're not going to dive into their fantastical elements. Certainly, no one can match all of the years of lore behind either of those franchises. But New World stands a chance at being that kind of game. New World has medieval elements similar to ESO without that fantasy side. It has its own niche in the marketplace. It's a new world. It also can act as sort of a life sim, not quite with the survival mechanics of something like Valheim or Tribes of Midgard, but you build up the world around you, you make things better, and you have a noticeable effect on your environment. You can't craft certain things in a city until you build up the stuff to craft it. You can tear it down as you siege a city. You can take over environments and start to own what happens within them. You can allow corruption to fester on the world or trim it back. The world reacts to what you do in New World. The players around you are forced to react to what you do in New World. And for that reason, New World is a very interesting and different MMO than what's dominating the market right now. All right, this has been a long video. I actually probably am gonna make a part 2 because there are tons more questions available within the Wheel of Questions. And so I'll have to answer those at another time. I hope I answered something for you today. Who knows? Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave me a comment of your top tips or top questions so I can answer them. And until next time, see ya.